Welcome to the Graduate School Workshop Series, hosted by Smith Institute for Applied Research. Today we'll feature part one of the three-part workshop series, and we'll cover an introduction to graduate school. Before we begin, I would like to do a brief introduction to Smith Institute for Applied Research. When you return to campus, you'll be able to find us in the first floor of the Carnegie Building. You see that picture has been included in this slide. We're directly in front of the library, right in the center of campus. What we do at Smith Institute is we provide resources, tools, and technology to support undergraduate research across campus. We have many tools that are available on our website. We have a link to a YouTube channel there where you can experience tutorials on how to register for the Council of Undergraduate Research, membership for all students and faculty and staff at Johnson C. Smith is free as a result of our institutional membership. You also have access to Student Opportunity Center, and I'll speak to that a little bit later. But there's several tutorials on our website that I think you'll find valuable, and you should spend some time taking a look at that to graduate school. We believe that all students should be engaged in research. Research helps you to explore career directions. It provides these real-life opportunities that you can include on your resume. It helps you contribute knowledge in your field. So that's what research is. It's learning new knowledge. That knowledge can in turn help you to impact your world. Research also enables us to build transferable skills. So what does that mean? Transferable skills are skills that you might learn in one course or through one experience. So for example, if you're in a math course or a statistics course, you might be learning how to use Excel. But as you'll find, tools like Excel become useful in a psychology course. If you're having to organize data, they're important in business and marketing courses. So you'll find these where these applications are valuable to you across the spectrum. So some of these, and one that's really emphasized through research, is written and oral communication. So when you're doing research, you're writing up your results, but you're also learning how to craft an argument. You oftentimes will be presenting your research, so you learn how to speak publicly and how to present information orally, visually, in a very logical way that's easy for the viewer to follow. Research, it also helps support critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Again, I think these are applicable to any type of career situation that you're going to find yourself in. Undergraduate research is going to help you learn how to summarize information. So you're often having to, go to the literature and find out what's already been done and being able to, and you're then tasked with being able to summarize and restate that in your own words. And then, as I mentioned before, tied in with that, the written and oral communication, you're learning to make an argument, and you're also learning how to advocate for and defend your work. So these are the reasons, the benefits of undergraduate research, and this is why, Smith Institute exists to support undergraduate research across our campus. Before we get started today, I just want to go over a couple of ground rules for virtual meetings. Now, I understand that you have been, participating in virtual learning, but just as a reminder, during a virtual meeting, it's important that you stay engaged. You also need to be certain that you have found a quiet place to work. I think we've all experienced, being in a meeting where somebody forgot to mute their mic, and we understand how disruptive and sometimes how it can end up being embarrassing for the person that did not mute their mic. So be sure to mute your mic. Ask for help if you're having issues with technology. It's important that you're focused on the presentation and not working on other tasks. You also want to make sure that you're testing your technology prior to arriving at the meeting. I would also ask, and this is important because sometimes we might be using multiple platforms in these virtual workshops. So it's important that you use a mobile device only as a last resort. What I've experienced is if I'm, for example, on my iPad and I'm zooming into a meeting, I can't then open another application without closing out the meeting. And of course, just like you would for your classes, for work, arrive early. All right, let's move on to our purpose. So Smith Institute is offering these workshops because one of the reasons that we are encouraging undergraduates to participate in research. This becomes really important as you prepare for grad school, as you submit applications. And we've seen that students get into their junior or senior year and they don't always have the experiences that they need to be competitive for grad school, because they didn't understand what some of these tasks were that they should have been doing from the beginning. We also have heard from others that students are going to faculty members or to the Career Service Center to ask with support in finding graduate schools and applying for graduate schools. And we thought that offering a workshop to the whole campus would be a more effective way to communicate with students and share information about graduate school with students. So, our objectives for today: by the end of this presentation, students will be able to identify common graduate degrees that are available. You'll be able to list the key differences between an undergraduate education and graduate education. Students will be able to clarify different motivations for choosing graduate school. And finally, students will be able to list strategies that they can apply now as freshmen and sophomore based on their motivations. So we're going to begin our introductions. I'll quickly introduce to you the Smith Institute staff. I'm Dr. Tara Bangle. I'm the Community Research Manager and Associate with the Smith Institute. Our Executive Director is Dr. Diane Bowles. New to our staff is Dr. Erica Dugo, who is supporting faculty research. And then Margaret Watson is our administrative assistant. I also have joining me today is Keisha Talbot Johnson, and I will let her quickly introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Keisha Talbot Johnson. I serve as the Research Communications and Special Projects Manager in the Division of Government-Sponsored Programs. I have worked with the Smith Institute team and I am excited about this workshop. I'm excited about the ways that we are engaging with you, and we look forward to making a direct connection with each and every one of you. So thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Keisha. Now that we're finished with our introductions, we'll move into our programming for today. And so we'll start with a brief introduction to graduate school. Very simply, graduate school is really an advanced program of study. You can think of it as an extension of your undergraduate education, which can range from anywhere between 1 year to 8 years. It's an opportunity to further enhance those critical thinking skills and also further participate in career development. So there are really three types of graduate programs: academic, professional, and then accommodation of both. The academic graduate programs, they really tend to center on original research in a particular discipline. So that might be a major like English or history or geography or communication. Professional degrees, those focus on developing skills and knowledge for a specific profession. So that means those are going to be programs like, for example, Master of Public Health, or a medical program or a law program, where you're focused on developing those skills that are going to be, very specific to that career that you're interested in. So along with this, you will find different types of degrees. So generally with the academic degrees, what you're going to find is those programs will be Master of Arts programs, MA, or Master of Science programs, MS. They can also be, the more advanced, they can also be PhD programs. For the professional programs, those types of degrees that you will find there would be with the medical program, for example, you're going to have that would be an MD. With a law program, that would be a Juris Doctorate or JD. There's degrees like MPA, that's a Master's Public Administration program that prepares students, graduate students, for careers in public service within government. Depending on your career goals, your career goals will guide you into the type of graduate program and the type of degree. There are a lot of preconceived notions about, who is graduate school for. And, some students might think that graduate school is for those students that are wealthy, but that's not the case. We might expect that graduate school is for those that are top of the class. And again, that's not the case. A lot of people think that to go to graduate school, it's going to be necessary to have affluent connections. But I assure you, even without those connections, you can still attend graduate school. Another preconceived notion is that you must come from a highly educated family to attend graduate school. And that's not the case, because graduate school is also for first generation college students. So the point that I want you to take away from this is that graduate school is for anybody who is motivated to attend graduate school and whose career goals would benefit from attending graduate school. So I just quickly want to cover some differentiations between an undergraduate and a graduate education. So with your undergraduate education, I think you've experienced that there have been a lot of general education requirements. Once you get to graduate school, regardless of what type of program you're in, if you're in the more academic track or the professional track, what you're going to find is that those programs are much more focused. If you go into political science, those are the classes that you will be taking. They will be in the political science department. Graduate schools are often, you'll find much smaller class sizes. And while, at JCSU, I think you already have this advantage of small class sizes. So it might not feel like that much of a difference to you. But sometimes there might be just, 4 or 5 students in a graduate class. Graduate school, there are also a lot more opportunities for work experiences. So students will also, there's often times required placements. So as part of your graduate degree, some of those programs will require a semester's worth of, hands-on work experience through a practicum, for example. And then also with the graduate education, you're going to find yourself engaged in more original research and independent research. So at an undergraduate, when we talk about your research at the undergraduate level, we're preparing you then for more original and independent research as graduate students. So one of the things that students express concerns with, they ask, how am I going to pay for graduate school? Some might already, be experiencing debt as a result of their undergraduate degree. Some people might be anxious to get to work immediately after your undergraduate school, undergraduate education, so that you can begin earning money to be able to support your family. But there are many opportunities or strategies to help you pay for graduate school. One of the number one opportunities are fellowships. And so you'll find with many programs, they offer graduate assistantships for their students. And so these are work opportunities or fellowships that you receive a stipend for. That stipend can vary depending on the program. But that stipend is intended to allow you to be able to focus on your education and not have to have external work. There's also many scholarships, competitive scholarships that are available to help you pay for graduate school. Some of those are offered by the graduate school themselves, and some come from different external sources. There are also grants. Those grants, again, they might be from external sources, or they might be, those grants can oftentimes also be funding the fellowships that you might be participating in. Okay, well, I have talked a lot so far today, so I would like to transition to a hands-on and active learning opportunity. And I want you to use the next few minutes to brainstorm some different reasons for pursuing a graduate degree. And so this is where I need to decide if I'm going to do it in Mural or if I'm just going to use the chat box.
I think the chat box would foster engagement within the Zoom platform.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you'd be able to then highlight, more of some of the ones that you think are impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it prevents me from having to go from screen sharing the PowerPoint to screen sharing Mural, which isn't really that difficult of a task, but it just, it just kind of adds to it, right?
Right. So then what I might do is after we do this, just make note that in the PowerPoint, let's take off mural activity and just make it activity.
Yep, yep. Okay, all right. So let's go over, some of these reasons that you have identified. And you can tell, from looking at this list that there's not going to be, one singular reason that fits everybody. Instead, what you're going to find here is that there are multiple reasons for attending graduate school. And, as you're considering graduate school for yourself, I think you too will find that there's more than just one reason. But it's important that you begin to think about those reasons and, begin to identify what they are. I wonder how I mute my phone. Okay, so we're nearing the end of our presentation, and I have one more really important point that we're going to just use the next couple of slides to frame our discussion. And so that is, when do you begin to prepare for graduate school? Is that in your freshman year? Is that in your sophomore year? Do you do it as a junior, as a senior? So just, very quickly in the chat box again, stick in there, when you think is the time to begin to prepare for graduate school. Well, I see a lot of different responses. I do see several people that are saying it's freshman and sophomore, and you're exactly right. Now is the time to begin to prepare for graduate school. If you're already a junior or senior, that doesn't mean that you've already excluded yourself from being able to attend graduate school. There is still time for us, for you, to get on, the track so that you will be competitive. So to prepare for graduate school, especially for the freshman and sophomore, these are some two key things that I want you to take away today. And that is, you need to find a mentor. Finding the right mentor, it can change your academic and career trajectory. And notice that one mentor is not enough. You will have different mentors for different needs, and based on the personality and strengths and skills of that individual. The other thing that you should be doing is participating in graduate prep programs. So in the next couple of slides, I will provide more detail on both mentors and graduate prep opportunities. So as I said, finding the right mentor, it can change your academic and career trajectory. There are many different types of mentors, or mentors can fill many different types of needs or goals for you. So some mentors you're going to have an interpersonal connection with. Perhaps they come from a similar family background as you. Perhaps they're, grew up in a similar, geographic area. But oftentimes, we'll have a mentor that includes an interpersonal connection like that. Another type of mentor is the mentor that's going to be able to help you with networking. That's somebody that might be in the your field of interest, and perhaps they're well known and they can help connect you to others in that discipline. There can also be research mentors. So you might work with a faculty that helps you develop your own research knowledge and skill set. And there's also mentors that can help you to prepare for clinical work. Finding a mentor, there's many places where we can look for mentors. One place is in the alumni office, or perhaps a upperclassman that graduated a couple of years ago that you can reach out to. You can also, obviously, and this is a starting point for many, is to reach out to faculty that are within your own department. But also don't overlook other disciplines. It's okay to bring in or to look for mentors that are outside of your own academic department. And it's valuable to have mentors that are already in the professional field. Looking for mentors that can, provide these different needs and come from different backgrounds, that helps you to develop into a well-rounded individual, and also prepares you to be competitive in your search for graduate schools. All right, a little bit more about finding graduate prep programs. Well, graduate prep programs are things like fellowships or internships. Fellowships and internships, they differ. Fellowships, they often focus on professional development or academic research, and you usually have a specific project that you must complete, and there is a stipend associated with completion of that project. Internships, they're also valuable. They provide hands-on opportunity, but they're placing you in a more traditional work type of role. This is a place too where you can meet others in the field and build your network, and kind of explore a field and see if it's right for you. There are many opportunities for research programs. Some of them, of course, happen on our campus. We have faculty mentored research, faculty that receive research grants, and they're doing their own research here on campus, and that provides you with an opportunity to potentially work with those faculty. The National Science Foundation, or NSF, also runs what's called the REU, or Research Experiences for Undergraduates. And these are intensive summer programs where you visit other campuses, work with faculty mentors to develop a research project. Other examples of summer research project opportunities, you can find them. NASA offers them. Oak Ridge Institute of Education Research offers summer programs. And this is certainly not an exhaustive list. There's also foundations that offer programs, and other government agencies like the NIH, National Institute of Health. So another way that you can gain experience and help build your resume is to present at a conference. Hopefully somewhere in your academic experience, you're going to complete a research project, and you can present those. There's the National Conference of Undergraduate Research, or NCUR. That's an opportunity to present and share your research. And then that's something that you place on your resume. That experience, you want to ensure that you include it there. Here on campus, the Smith Institute also hosts the annual student poster competition. This is each spring and usually takes place at the beginning of April, sometimes late March, but information regarding that is communicated to students early in the spring semester. So one place I would like to encourage you to look for opportunities, whether they be summer research opportunities, whether it's faculty mentored research here on campus or conferences, is in the Student Opportunity Center. So the Student Opportunity Center is this virtual online space that allows you to search for opportunities based on parameters that you set. So you have the opportunity to create a profile, and you're going to, within that profile, you're going to indicate your interest. You know, are you looking for experiences just in the Charlotte region? Are you looking throughout the entire Southeast? Are you looking for just fellowships, or are you also interested in you know, summer research opportunities? But as I said at the beginning of this presentation, on the Smith Institute website, you will find a link to our YouTube channel. And if you have not already registered with the Student Opportunity Center, this is a valuable resource that Smith Institute is able to offer the entire campus. And you can, you know, find that tutorial. It's just a short video that walks you through the process of creating your free Student Opportunity Center account. So next steps. Think about connecting with a mentor. You know, who might that person be, and what are you looking for in that mentor? Gain experiences. Especially, you know, research related experiences, or, you know, at a minimum, internships or other work related experiences. Connect with Smith Institute. As I said, we're in Carnegie, and also, you know, visit the Student Opportunity Center to learn more about what that platform has to offer. At the bottom of the slide, and I'll leave this up for the next few minutes, you'll see our Twitter handles and where you can find us on Facebook, as well as Instagram, and our YouTube channel. Thank you for participating in our first, you know, part 1 of the graduate workshop series. Next semester, we will be getting into you know, a little bit more specifics of how to find a graduate program, and then providing workshops that'll help you apply for a graduate school program.